Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Apyayantu Mamangani Vak pranaschakshushrotramatho balamindriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahma upanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam mama brahma nirakarod anirakaranamastva nirakaranam me astu. Tadatmani nirate ya upanishatsu dharmaste mai santu te mai santu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyaptadehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Ityetadaksharamudgithamupasita Om Ityhyudgayate Tasyopavyakhyanam. Page 326. No, page 328, sorry. Yada vai manute atha vijanati na amatva vijanati Matvaiva vijanati Matistveva vijignyasitam vedi Matim bhagavo vijignase ide. Yada vai manute atha vijanati. So first is Yada vai vijanati atha satyam vadati. When one knows the truth, then one speaks the truth. So, speaking truth, satyam vadati. So, one speaking truth is the same as yes, satyena ativadati. Eshatu vai ativadati, yes, satyena ativadati. He alone is called an ativadi, one who transcends all in speech, that ativadi. A person can be called Ativad in the true sense when he transcends everything by virtue of knowledge of Satyam or truth. He was called Ativadi even by virtue of knowledge of prana, Then Shruti herself said that no, in the real sense he becomes Ativadi only when he knows Satyam. Then when he speaks Satyam, then he transcends everything which is Mithya. Everything else being Mithya, he automatically transcends everything when he speaks Satyam. So, when does he speak Satyam? So he becomes Ativadi. Ativadi is the goal, being Ativadi, becoming one who transcends everything in speech. Meaning, of course, he can transcend everything in speech, provided he transcends everything in his mind. And he transcends everything in mind, provided he transcends everything in his vision, in his knowledge. So, yada vai vijanati atha ativadi bhavati. When he knows the truth, then he becomes a ativadi in the true sense. So, becoming ativadi is the goal. One who transcends everything. That is like moksha here. So, when do you become ativadi? Yada vai vijanati, when he knows. When he knows the Satyam, when he knows Satyam or truth as his own self, then naturally he transcends everything. Anutam, vikaradatam, vachanam manam hitva. Then giving up, discarding, negating, transcending, everything is vikaradatam. So two categories are there, Satyam and Anritam. Either you call it Mithya or call it Anritam. Mritam, Anritam. Anritam, Vikarajatam, host of all Vikara or modifications, the entire creation, which is a superimposition. So what is meant by transcending is, he recognizes the Mithya as Mithya. The problem was, so far, he took the Mithya to be Satyam, to be real. What is unreal is so, real is something that you depend upon. Real is something that you trust. Unfortunately, it is Mithya that you are trusting. And therefore, your trust can never be validated. You find your trust is violated again and again. And that causes pain to you again and again. So only when Satyam is known as Mithya is known as Mithya, and Satyam is known as Satyam, then Mithya is taken as Mithya, and therefore you have that attitude. Our attitude depends upon what our perception is. If you look upon something as real, then that our attitude is of one kind. When we know that it is an appearance, then our attitude is of a different kind. So when appearance, Mithya, is seen as Mithya, then what is my attitude? One of accepting, accommodating, because Mithya does not really matter what it is. A Mithya apple, whether it's a red or green or large or small, does not matter because it's Mithya. Because Mithya cannot add anything into me, nor can Mithya take away anything from me if I know Mithya is Mithya. Satyam can add something to me. Satyam can take away something from me. So far, I looked upon Mithya as Satyam, always thought it was adding something to me and taking away something from me, which is all problem. Add something to me, I feel happy, which is a false sense of happiness. And takes away something from me, I become unhappy. So then I dance at the tune of what is Mithya, then Mithya decides whether I am happy or unhappy. Mithya is unpredictable. Vikaras are always changing. And so, only when mithya is known as mithya, then I say, okay, it cannot add anything to me, nor can it take away anything from me. When that is so, then I am very accommodative. It can come, it can go, it can be where it is. I need not make it mine. I need not grudge you if it belongs to you, nor should I be bothered about making it mine, because by making it mine, it does not add anything to me. And by becoming yours, it doesn't take away anything from me. Then all the competition is gone, all jealousy, everything is gone. Life is full of that stuff, everywhere. Because everything is so precious to us. This will go away from me, this is my property. And so nobody should take anything away from that. I'm zealously protecting everything. There's always a fear that what I'm protecting will be taken away from me. And what will happen to me? Because my security, my well-being depends upon that. I think that I'm so great because of that. Because my well-being comes from something else, that something else becomes very important to me. Whole life goes into this. Always protecting, holding on to, and then manipulating, and all kinds of stuff going on all the time. Poor human being really suffers. But when I know mithya is mithya, alright. Is here, well and good. There, well and good. I respect it wherever it is, whatever it is, however it is. Big relief. That's called freedom. So taking mithya to be satyam is a great source of all the problems, all the heartburns, problems in every way. Mithya is mithya. Okay. Then I give freedom to mithya. Because it can't add anything to me, cannot take away anything from me. I give it the freedom. Our Swami says, give them the freedom and enjoy the freedom. That's what Vedanta seeks us to become. So yada ve vijanati, when he knows the truth, then he speaks truth. So ativaditvam, becoming ativadi is our goal. Ativadi I become when I know the truth. Yaha satyena ativadati. One who becomes ativadi by virtue of the knowledge of satyam. Yada ve vijanati asa satyam vadati. So for becoming ativadi, I should know the satyam. How? Yaja ve vijada vijanati. When he knows, then he becomes, then he speaks truth. So for becoming ativadi, I should speak truth. For speaking truth, I should know the truth. And then as Bhashyakara said, Agnyadi shabdena Agnyadin paramar sadrupan manyamana vadati na vijanan satyam vadati. As long as it takes this vikara jatam, the universe made up of the three elements, the earth and water and fire and whatever as satyam, so long all that is real to him, then what happens to satyam becomes very important to me. Natu te rupatre vyatirekene parmatadha santi. But when he realizes that what is called fire and sun and the moon and whatever it is are never apart from rupatra, apart from three colors. Yagnehe rohitam rupam tejasastad rupam. The red color in the fire belongs to the element tejas. Yat shuklam tadapam. The white color that belongs to fire comes from up or the element water. Yet Krishnam tadannasya, and the black color comes from the element earth. So what we call fire are nothing but three colors, three elements. And they in turn are nothing but Satya. So therefore, na avijanan satyam vadati, vijanan eva satyam vadati. Knowing Satyam, he speaks Satyam. Naja tas satya vijnanam avijignyasitam aprathitam jnayate. That knowledge also does not come right away. It is yatna sadhyam. The knowledge of Satyam also is yatna sadhyam. Is to be achieved by adequate and proper effort. So, nacha tat satya vijnanam avijignyasitam aprarthitam jnayate. Unless you have vijignyasa. So, jignasa is desire to know. So, desire to know the knowledge, So, Bhashyakara explained vijignyasitam prarthitam. Not that you desire to know the knowledge, but then you desire to get the knowledge. You seek the knowledge, pray for the knowledge. So, vijignyasitavyam idyanena prarthaniyatvam lakshate. By lakshana vritti. Vijignyasa is one should seek to know. But by lakshana vritti, vijignyasitavyam prarthayitavyam prarthaniyam, that which is to be prayed for, to be sought. So you must seek the knowledge. Meaning that you must make the adequate effort to gain the knowledge. Vijnanam cha vijignasitavyam iti. There was Sant Kumar said, hey Narada, understand that you have to seek this knowledge. You have to make the right and adequate effort to gain this knowledge. Yadi evam vijnanam bhago vijignaseti. If this is so, then, O Venerable Sir, I want to gain that knowledge. What is the means of gaining the knowledge? So you must adopt that means. In order to gain the knowledge, so the knowledge becomes the sadhyam and then sadhanam. So proper sadhana must be there for sadhyam or knowledge to take place. Therefore the next passage says, Yada vai manute atha vijanati. So what is the means of gaining the knowledge of Satyam? Yada vai manute. Matihi mananam. Tarkaha. Bhashyakara said that you have to reflect upon the meaning of the statements of the scripture. So what is the means of knowledge? Upanishad is the means of knowledge. Vedanta nama Upanishad pramanam. So what is called Vedanta is Upanishad. And that's the pramanam, that's the means of knowledge. Upanishad is in the form of words or statements. And therefore those words have to be understood in the same sense in which the Upanishad or Shruti intends to use, conveys. So we should know the intention of Shruti. So not only in any communication, it is not enough that we simply know the literal meaning. We should know what the speaker intended to convey through those words. You can take the literal meaning and holy you said this and that, that's all, but I did not mean that. Similarly, Shruti uses these words with something in mind. And in many cases, not the literal meaning or the vachyartha, but the lakshyartha is important. the implied meaning, the targeted meaning is different. So therefore, whether Vachyartha should be taken or Lakshyartha should be taken, all of this requires mananam, tarka, reasoning, deliberation. Mimamsa, meaning that we have to properly analyze the statements of Vedanta to understand the meaning. So here by manana we should understand Mimamsa or the analysis of those statements. Analysis always requires proper reasoning. So Vijnanasya yatna sadhyatam uktam taneva yatna vishaya sadhanani aha. That Vijnana or knowledge is to be attained by yatna or by proper effort. So what are those efforts? Yada vai manute. Then Bhashyakara says, evam satyadinam cha uttarottaranam karoti iti antanam purupuro hetutvam vyakhyayam. That subsequent passages present the means, subsequent means. Each following one is the means for attaining the preceding one. Each preceding one is sadhya. Each following one is sadhanam. So ativaditvam is sadhya. What is sadhanam? Satyavadanam is sadhanam. Speaking truth. But when do you speak truth? Yada vai vijanati. When you know, then you know the truth, then you speak the truth. How do you know the truth? Yada vai manute atha vijanati. When you do mananam, reflection, deliberation, mimamsa, analysis, then you gain the knowledge. How do you do mananam? Yada vai shraddha dhati. When there is shraddha, then mananam is possible. When would you have shraddha? Nistishtati, when you serve the teacher. How do you serve the teacher? Yada vai karoti, when he does what is required to be done. And when do you do that? Yada vai sukham labate, when there is a promise of happiness in that, that's when you do. Thus, a series of sadhanani, they are all related here. So now we can go to the next passage, page 329. Yada vai shraddha dhate athamanute na ashraddha manute shraddha eva manute shraddhatveva vijignyasitavya ite shraddham bhagavo vijignase ite. Yada vai shraddha dhati atha manute, that mananam or that. So analysis is main effort. Really vichara, we should say here, mananam means vichara. Shravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam. That is what is the means for knowledge. Atmavare, drashtavya, shrutavya, mantavya, nididhyasitavya. So darshanam, the aparoksha jnanam, the immediate knowledge of Atma is what is to be gained. For that shravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam, that is the means. So yada vai manute, we should include everything. Shravanam, mananam, nididhyasanam. Meaning that we would expose ourselves to the unfoldment of scriptures by the teacher. When do you do that? Yada vai shraddha dhati, when one has shraddha. So you have look at the earlier mantra vishay adaraha, shraddha shraddharthamaha, mantra vishay adaraha. So when there is adara, here they say that when there is love or devotion for mantra vishaya, the subject, the matter or the entity that is to be reflected upon, which is the object of vichara, is Brahman. So, athato Brahma jignasa, athata Brahma vichara kartavya. So, Brahma is the subject matter of vichara. When you do vichara, what is vichara? Shravanam, mananam, dhyasana, is called vichara. When do you do all of that? When there is Shraddha. What is Shraddha? Mantavya Vishaya Adara. When there is love or when there is a commitment for Brahman, which is a Mantavya Vishaya. Manana means Vichara. Vichara Vishaya is Brahman. For Brahman, when you have the love. Or Bhashyakara says, Astikya Buddhi Shraddha. The page 329, Bhashyakara, let us read that. Astikya Buddhi Shraddha. Astikya Buddhi, how is it translated? Nicely. Shraddha is faith that Astikya, Astiti Buddhi. The thing in question really exists. That Brahman really exists. There is something called Brahman. But better than that, the definition of Shraddha is Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhyavadharana. Sa Shraddha Kathita Sadbihi Yaya Vastu Palabhyade. Sadbihi, Satpurusha. The learned, the wise people call this thing Shraddha. Shastrasya Guru Vakyasya Satya Buddhyavadharana. Avadharana, a conviction in my mind. The Shastrasya, the statements of Shastra, Guru Vakyasya, the statements of Guru, both of them are Satyam. It's a conviction in my mind, an implicit trust that I have. I have an implicit trust in the Shastra. In the Upanishad, that Upanishad is Pramana. For gaining knowledge of Brahman, the only means available to us is Upanishad. Upanishad alone so reveals the nature of reality, because that is the basic agenda of the Upanishad, is to reveal the nature of realities. What's the reality of the self? What's the reality of the world? What's the reality of God or Ishvara? And then what Upanishad reveals is true. What Upanishad says about me is true. What it says about Jagat is true. What it says about Brahman is true. Brahma Satyam, Jagat Mithya, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. Upanishad Brahma Satyam, Brahman is Satyam. Jagat is Mithya. See, all the three are told here. What is Ishvara is Brahman is Satyam. That is real. Truth. What's said of Jagat? Jagat Mithya. Jagat is Mithya. What about me? Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. The one who looks upon oneself as Jiva is none other than Brahman. So an implicit trust in this, that this is what it is. And that this is what I have to make a reality in my life. I have to do whatever is to be done to make this vision a reality in my life. Because then, again, that by knowing this truth, this knowledge is the means of Paramapurushartha, moksha which I am seeking. This knowledge is the means of moksha. All of this Shraddha must be there, or all of the understanding must be there. First of all, a clarity about what I am seeking that what I am seeking is moksha, nothing less than that. And then moksha, liberation, is the result of knowledge because it is the knowing of what is already there. Like the 10th man. Therefore, I have to know the true nature of myself. I have to see that fact. And so, that's the means of that knowledge, the means of moksha. That also should be clear. So what I want is moksha. The knowledge of self is the means of moksha. And vichara, shastra vichara, a deliberation upon the statement of scripture is the means of knowledge of the self. How do you do that vichara? By listening to the unfoldment of scriptures from the lips of the teacher. All of this must be clear. You can do vichara by yourself also. I mean, you can take the books are right in front of you, you can do that. But as Bhashyakara says, Shastrajñopi swatantrena brahmanveshanam na kuryat. That even though one may be a scholar, one should not undertake the deliberation of Brahman independent of the teacher. So then comes the teacher. So then faith in teacher, then what teachers is telling us what the scriptures are telling us. Since your access to the scriptures is only through the teacher, then teacher is a link that connects you with the scriptures, and scriptures are the link that connect you with God or truth. So basically what you want is freedom. That is by knowledge of truth. And scriptures are the link between you and the truth. And the Guru is the link between you and the scripture. So therefore Astikya Buddhi, Astikya Buddhi is a very inadequate definition anyway, but that's alright as far as that. This definition comes from all karma kanda thing, because there is Swarga, these devatas are there, Agnihotra karma. When do you do that Agnihotra karma? That you will get Swarga. Now there is a trust. There is Swarga. There is Punya, Papa and all that, because all of these are unknown to you. Here also you can say that Brahma is, begin with that. Astityoupalabdhavya tattvabhavena chovayoho astityoupalabdhasya tattvabhavah prasidati. First one is to accept that Brahman is. And when you are completely in tune with that Brahman is and what is Brahman, then Brahman reveals itself as your own self. So all of this is Shraddha. Shastrasya, Guru Vakyasya. The statement of scriptures and the statement of the teacher. That they are true. That I can trust them. I can take them literally true. That is a big faith, it's not an ordinary thing. In fact, your whole life is, is in fact offered there. You are offering yourself. So when that Shraddha is there, then there is no doubt in my mind, basically. Satya, that is true. So I don't question. I don't question what the Upanishad says. I do not question what the teacher says. Basically, it is that disposition of mind that is required to really understand the meaning of these words. For the words to reveal themselves in your mind, you require that kind of a disposition of mind, which is called Shraddha. As we said, the kind of relationship that we have with all Pramanam. Right now these words are being heard. Now we don't struggle in our mind that whether my ears are telling me exactly what the Swami is speaking or are they saying something else. I don't have that struggle. It is taken for granted that my faculty of hearing is really revealing to me what Swami is saying. Taken for that's called Shraddha. But I don't question. Wait a minute. My ears are telling me that Swami is speaking in English. No, he can't be. He is not speaking in Gujarati. The moment you start questioning the Pramanam, then all problems arise. So, kind of relationship that we have with our means of knowledge is similar to that. How comfortable I am. My mind is free from all conflict. Similarly, while listening to teacher also, the same trust is there that I am comfortable, my mind is receptive, and that's where in the receptive mind the meaning of the words will be revealed. There were two things, mantavya vishaya adara. Number one, that love for Brahman, which is what you want to know, astikya buddhi, that the trust in the words of the scriptures and the teacher. Here, on the page 328 in line 34, the Tikakara says, so Shraddha Shabdarthamaha Mantya Vishaya Adara. Then says, Guru Uktarthe Adar Abhave Tad Vishaya Manam Na Karodeti Tatra Tasya Hetutvam Ityartha. Guru Uktarthe Adar Abhave. If you don't have Adara and respect, reverence, devotion, love for Guru Uktarthe, in what the Guru is revealing, I don't have that love or respect or reverence or trust. Mananam na karoti. Because after listening from teacher also, I have to do my homework. So what the scriptures and teachers say is something in general, then I have to make it particular, how it applies to me. What does this mean in my own life? All of that I will do provided I have the trust in the words of the teacher. So tad vishaya mananam na karoti. In absence of Shraddha, the mananam does not take place. You hear all right, it's okay. So very often people watch this TV and then they listen to Mahatmas. Kuch jante nahi hai. They don't. I don't know. He knows what he's talking about. Dismiss it. Meaning that you do not give any benefit. You don't reflect upon it. It doesn't do anything to you. It doesn't help you at all. So ityatha. That is the Shraddha. Then next one. So then says Narada. So then says Sanat Kumara said, Shraddha tveva vijignyasatavya iti. Hey Narada, the Shraddha has to be sought. Meaning that you acquire the Shraddha. Shraddham bhavo vijignyasati. I am seeking Shraddha means I wish to know the means of cultivating Shraddha. Hey Narada, you must cultivate Shraddha for doing Mananam. Then only if Shraddha is there, then only Mananam will be effective. But Shraddha also has to be cultivated. Meaning Shraddha also yatna sadhya. Shraddha also is accomplished as a result of a proper and adequate effort. Shraddham bhagavo vijignyaseti. O Venerable Sir, I seek to know, I want to know the means of cultivating Shraddha. So each thing in turn becomes important to Narada. Most important is Soham Bhagavad Shochami Tan Mam Bhagavan Shokasya Param Tarayatu iti. Even though I am what I am still grieving. The Venerable Sir, may please help me cross the ocean of grief. That is most important. How do you do that? Yadavai ativadi bhavati. So then we have to assume that when you become ativadi, you become free from grief and you get established in ananda. How do you become ativadi? When you speak truth. How do you speak truth? When you know truth. When you know truth, when you do mananam. When do you do mananam? When you shraddha. So that becoming free from grief is most important. Therefore adivaditvam becomes important. Therefore vijnanam becomes important. Therefore mananam becomes important. Therefore shraddha becomes, understand that. To me, Sanskrit became important because then only you can understand Bhashya properly. That's how interest in Sanskrit was developed, because knowing Sanskrit was a requirement for understanding Bhashya. What was the requirement for understanding the scripture? Which was the requirement for gaining the knowledge, That's how one thing becomes important on the account of that thing. And then only you know why you want that. Why do you want Sanskrit? Otherwise you get distracted there also. Because pursuit of Sanskrit can be an independent thing. It's not that everybody studies Sanskrit for Vedanta, no. So study of Sanskrit is an independent discipline. And its own pleasure and gratification. You get a great intellectual gratification. Wow, look at what Pani Vyakaranam is, just mind wow every time. Then when they go to astrology, every day there is something, they're flabbergasted, wow. So astrology is so many different levels and people get just totally drowned into that. So every branch of knowledge is like that. That you can get consumed by that. If you are not clear why do you want that, then that becomes a means instead of end. End becomes end instead of means. But here it is very clear, but I want this for this purpose. My purpose is knowledge. For that scriptures are important. For that Bhashya is important. For that Sanskrit is important. For that Tarka is important. For that much Tarka, that much Mimamsa, that much Sanskrit required for this. Otherwise Tarka is its own, people are, even Tarka also gives such great delight, intellectual delight, that people get distracted. Mimamsa, everything is amazing. Each branch of knowledge is very challenging and also very gratifying. Anyway, so now Shraddha is important, says Narada. So, oh Venerable Sir, please tell me, how can I cultivate Shraddha? Then the next passage says, Yada vai nististhate atha shraddhadhati na anistishtan shraddhadhati nistishtanneva shraddhadhati nishthatveva vijignasadavya iti nistham bhagavo vijignase iti. Yadava nististhati means nististhati means when one has nishtha. Ni plus stha. Stha tisthati. Stha nististhati. So meaning that when one has nishtha, that's what it means. That is, when one has the devotion or devoted service. The nishtha is interpreted as the devoted service. So when yadavai nististhati, when one serves with devotion, atha shraddhadhati. So Shraddha in the teacher arises when one serves the teacher. Going back to this tika on the page 328, that comes even later, I think, yeah. Oh yeah, Bhashya, let's read the Bhashya explanation. Nishtha Guru Sushrushadehe Tatparatvam Brahma Vijnanaya. Nishtha Guru Sushrushadehe. Sushrusha means seva. Sushrusha can be desire to learn, desire to listen, or desire to serve. Here, Guru Sushrusha. So both meanings are taken by the Tikakara. So Guru Sushrusha is the devoted service to the teacher. Tat Paratvam, steadfastness in the devoted service to the teacher. That's what it means. Nishtha, Guru Sushrusha, Tat Paratvam. What is Tat Paratvam? Steadfastness. In what? In Guru Sushrusha, in serving the teacher, etc. So what is etc.? The Tikakara says, Brahma Jnanaya Guru Sushrusali Tatpar Rupaya Nishtaya Shravanam Api Grahitam Sangrahitam. So not only you devotedly serve the teacher, but then you expose yourself to the listening to the teacher. But I think it's a bit too early because that takes place after Shraddha. It is Manute that involves Shravanam, Manam, etc. But then Shushrusha can be Shrotumicha, so also desire to hear or desire to serve both. But here basically meaning is what? The steadfastness. Steadfastness means in abidance, in the devoted service to the teacher. That's called Nishtha. So Nishtha alone is in the verbal form Nistishtati. Yada vai Nistishtati atha Shabdadhari. So that's when you come to know the teacher. How to? This is a way to know the person, basically. So our scriptures say that the way to know the person is to surrender to a person and serve the person. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. So pranipata is first, Dirika Namaskara, or the long prostration, that is a sign of surrender, is first. So service done with the spirit of surrender, because service can be done anyway, without that spirit also. So what Lord Krishna says, Shraddhavan labhate jnana. So they serve the teacher with devotion, with trust that here I am devoted, I am surrendered, this is my protector, that I am safe and secure here. So then your mind is open. Then you don't question the teacher. Why did he do this? That thing is not there. Then you understand everything about the teacher, Because what the teacher is, what the teacher knows, because he is speaking truth. Speaking is not only just words. The whole body language, everything is speaking, really. We are communicating not only through words, but also through our body language, through everything that we do. So, presuming the teacher is speaking truth, then you get that by coming in contact with him. Contact with devotion, with surrender. So then you come to know the teacher. Then realize that he is what he is talking about. That's how the Shraddha is cultivated. So here the Upanishad says that the means for gaining Shraddha is Nishtha, meaning Guru Sushrushadehi, serving the teacher, etc. And whatever else the teacher needs. So that may include also raising the cows and stuff like that. I don't know. Whatever it is that is needed by the teacher. Tatparatvam, steadfastness. For what? Brahma Vijnanaya. So you are serving a person not for any ulterior motive, no other agenda. The only agenda that this seeker, aspirant has, Brahma Vijnanaya, for the knowledge of Brahman. That is also very clear. That all I want is knowledge of Brahman. And that is, you see, that clarity of your agenda helps you establish a healthy relationship. If you want something else from the person, other than Brahmajnana, which may be some worldly things, then the relationship are different kind, understand? Our relationship is characterized by what our agenda is. Husband wants something from wife and wife wants something from husband. Then the relationship is established accordingly. And in course of time you find that what you wanted does not come along, the relationship doesn't remain. A relationship does not remain because you are disillusioned that you don't get what you expected. So in all relationships some expectations are there. So what is this relationship? Brahma Jnana. You do not want anything, this is a rare thing anyway, these are all ideal things. That you don't want anything other than Brahma Jnana. But anyway, ideally, you approach the teacher for Brahma Jnana, for the knowledge of Brahma. When you are serving, you are doing what you are doing for Brahma Jnana. And therefore, what will be important about teacher is that aspect of teacher that relates to Brahma Jnana is important. Yāñanavadyāni karmāni tāni sevitavyāni no itarāni Yāñasmākam sucharitāni tāni tvayopāsyāni no itarāni. The teacher says to a disciple, Yani avadhyāni karmāni. When you go out of the Gurukulam, make sure that you do not do anything which is improper, which is not accepted by the society, which is not according to dharma. But then what the teacher does is what we do, he says, no. Yani asmakam sucharitani tani tvayopāsyāni. No, even in our conduct also, what is sucharitani? What is the right charitra? That is what you should imitate, emulate. No itarani. In us also you find something which is not alright, don't emulate that. So what do we emulate is all with the agenda of Brahma Vidya. That's the idea here. Anyway, so that's how Nishtha becomes the means for Shraddha. So na anistishtan Shraddhadhate. Without Nishtha, without the devoted service, Shraddha does not arise. Nistishtan neva Shraddhadhate. Only with that steadfastness in the devoted service, the Shraddha arises. Nishthatya vijignasadavya. He said Narada, the Nishtha, steadfast in service also has to be cultivated, has to be acquired, attained. Meaning that it is necessary for you to adopt a proper means so that you do that Shraddha, you do that Nishtha, you do that service to the teacher. So, Nishthatva vijignasadavya. Nistham bhagavo vijignyasayate. Oh Venerable Sir, I want to know how the Nishtha can be cultivated, how steadfastness in devoted service. How can it be? How can I get that devotion? How can I get that? Please tell me. Then the next passage says, so Anandagiri has nothing much to add. Manana hetu bhutam shraddham vyakaroti. Shraddha hetu nistham vyachaste. Let us read, complete that sentence in the page 328. Brahmajnanaya guru sushrusadi tatparyupaya nisthaya shravanapi gruhitam. So because the Guru Shushusha or the service to the teacher is done for Brahmajnana, so Adi, that Tikakara says that by the word Adi or etc., you should include the Shravanam also. Sacha mantra vishay adar hetuhu. Because then Shravanam becomes a means for the love for mantra vishaya, which is for manana. Tad jnana bhave, tad adar ayogadi bhava. So unless there is knowledge of Brahman, the adara or love for Brahman does not arise. And so Shravan is required as a means of manana. Then Sri Ramanagiri, Nishthananadam Krutim Vibhajate. Nidana means cause. The cause of Nishtha is Kruti. That is what now is the next passage. Yada vai karote atha nisthishthate na akrutva nisthishthate krutva eva nisthishthate krutistu eva vijignyasitavya ide krutim bhagavo vijignyase ide. Alright, so how do we get Nishtha? The devoted service? Yadave karoti. That service is required for you to do something. Service cannot be a mental thing. Service means physically you do something. Yadave karoti. At a physical level, when this aspirant does what is required for serving the teacher. Atha nishtishthate. So the nishtha, the steadfastness and devoted service requires a person to do what is appropriate to do in terms of service. Requires to act. Na krutva nishtishthate. Without doing that, it is not possible to cultivate nishtha. So let's see what Bhashyakara says. Yada vai karote krute indriya sanyama chitta ekagrata karanam cha satyamitasthya nishtha dene yathoktani bhavante vijnana avasanane. So Bhashyakara explains kruti. So what does Upanishad mean? What a kruti means? Action. So yadave kruti indriya sanyama. So shraddhavan labate jnanam tatpara sanyatayendriya. So shraddha can be obtained when tatparata or the devoted service is there, and that is possible when sanyatayendriya, indriya sanyama is there. So in order to serve somebody, you require a great discipline. Chitta ekagrata karanam cha, and the concentration of mind also. You must be very alert. Not only devoted is it, not only you are devoted, you should be efficient also. Sometimes you are devoted all right, but if you are not observant, not careful about what the person needs, what the actual needs are, etc., you have to recognize that. That requires you to concentrate your mind on the teacher. On all along you concentrate upon that, what the teacher needs and what he likes, what he does not like, etc. All of these must be very clear to the Shishya. Then only he can offer that service without asking for it. Otherwise, every time you bring this and bring that and do this and do that, that's okay. But right servant or Shishya is the one who does it before being asked. So one who does when asked is a middling Shishya. One who does without being asked is the Uttam Shishya. So therefore that requires Indriya, number one, Indriya Sanyama. That you are alert and don't do anything other than what's required. Otherwise, let me WhatsApp. What does this thing say? So you're doing that. Now that teacher is in need of something, and here you're doing something else. So Indriya Sanyama means that you are totally devoted here, and your sense organs and mind are only directed towards this and nothing else. In this same is, of course, speaking what is the right to speak, otherwise not speaking. Not looking where you should not look, not hearing what you should not hear, not going where you should not go, not doing what you should not do, not eating what you should not eat, at every level. Then only service is possible. I'm sorry, I was sleeping, I'm sorry, I went for a cup of tea, I'm sorry, then you keep on saying sorry. Because Indriya Sanyam is not there. So Indriya Sanyam is required that you are not distracted at all. Your attention is totally on what is to be done. And secondly, Chittaikagrata Karanam, concentration of mind, is alertness required to understand what is to be done. So Indriya Sanyama, or the control of the sense organs, is doing what is to be done. In Chittaikagrata Karanam, concentration of mind is to know what is to be done, to understand what is to be done and doing what is to be done. Sometimes you don't understand what is to be done, and sometimes even we know what is to be done, we are not doing it, because either we are distracted or with something else to do. So Chittaikagrata Karanam, concentration of the mind, so that the Shishya knows exactly what the Guru needs because he has observed. And Indriya Sanyama, doing exactly what is to be done, when it is to be done. In terms of service, that's the meaning. What other meaning can there be? So Bhashyakare Satyamitasyam, when that Kruti of the nature of the control of the sense organs and alertness is there, then Nishtha happens. When Nishtha happens, then Shraddha happens. When Shraddha happens, then Mananam happens. When Mananam, then Vijnanam happens. So, meaning that this is required at all stages. Kruti in the sense of the control over sense organs and the concentration of mind is required not only in seva, but all subsequent steps also require them. Tasyami satyam nishtadini yathoktani bhavante. Then nishtha, shraddha, as I said, all of these things take place. Vijnana avasanani, leading all the way up to Vijnanam or knowledge. Here, the Tikakara says in line 32, Indriya Sanyamadi Rupaya Krute Katham Shranadi Hedutva. Says Indriya Sanyam Kruti, of the nature of Indriya Sanyamadi, the control over the sense organs. Of that Kruti, Katham Shranada Hedutvam. So Kruti characterized by Indriya Sanyama. How does that become the hetu or means of Shravanam, etc.? Taya vinapi Guru Labhadi Dushta Samagriya Eva Tat Siddhe. But you have the Guru in front of you. Guru Labhadi, Guru is there, Guru is talking, you are listening. So it's taking place. So why do you need that Kruti of the nature of Indriya Sanyama and Chitta Ekagrata? Ityashanke tasya चित्तमल निराकरण द्वारेण तत्फलोत्पत्तौ हेतुत्वात्. When Indriya Samyama is there, Chitta Ekagrata is there, then Chittamala Nirakarana Dvara. This Nirakaranam, elimination of Chittamala, impurity of the mind. And so meaning that this the control of the sense organs and concentration of mind lead to the purification of mind, which is required all the stages. Tat phala utpatto. So teacher may be there, but you cannot benefit from him. Shravanam is there, you don't get any benefit. Unless Chittamal Nivrutti, removal of the impurity of the mind is there, and that can be there provided there is a devoted service with concentration of the mind and with control over sense organs. Therefore, the Bhashyakara said, Satyami tastyam nishtadini yathoktani bhavanti nivijnana avasanani. Again, Anandagiri also said the same thing, line 26, Katham punaha etesham uttaram uttaram purvasa purvasa karani bhavati. So, when this kruti of the nature of the concentration of mind and the control of senses is there, then only each one leads to the other. Meaning that when kruti leads to nishtha, when indriya samyama and chitta ekagrata is there, nishtha leads to shraddha. When indriya samyama, chitta ekagrata is there, shraddha leads to mananam. When indriya samyama, chitta ekagrata is there. That's how we have to understand. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmedi Murti Veda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.